Another strings and things. Today I've got a little amplifier to show you, a little guitar amplifier to show you. I've had this for a few months now and I really like this little amplifier. It's a Behringer HA-40R and I bought it really to play with a jazz funk project band that I now been playing with for about a year, learning all sorts of difficult and tricky chords and arrangements, but it's a lot of fun. Anyway, so I bought this amplifier because I just needed a bit more power to match about 6 or 7 saxophones and a couple of drummers and things like that. And this does the job very well. I'm going to tell you a bit about it and then I'll just play some tones. Anyway, it's quite a simple amplifier. And I'll just go through the various controls on it and something about the details. So I've got a few notes here. So first of all, it's got obviously a number of knobs here. If you can see green dots here, don't worry, those are my settings for when I play with the band. It's not part of the original amplifier. So first of all, it's got a clean channel. And it's got treble, middle and bass EQ knobs on it. And each of these actually are set in the middle and they are -5 anti-clockwise and +5 clockwise. It means you can dial down or dial up from a midpoint, which is actually rather useful. So there's a clean channel and of course there's a volume control knob on that. And then there's also an overdrive. And a gain channel here and a separate volume for controlling that sound as well. There's also a reverb on it, which they say is a spring reverb. It actually sounds pretty good. And what else has it got? Well, it's got a foot switch channel thing. Now the foot switch doesn't come with it, but I bought a foot switch. Which is, you can see there, it's Hoser FSC 385 and it's got dual foot switches on it. And those two switches control either the clean or the gain channel, the overdrive channel, and the second one controls whether you want to have reverb on or not. What else has it got? Well, it's got an input for sort of MP3 player. It's got a headphone output, and it's got a line output here, which you could drive another speaker with it. And this, incidentally, is the input for the foot switch. This is the input for the guitar. So it's a pretty useful amplifier because it's not got a lot of what we sort of things on it to control all sorts of different sounds, sort of things you can get on some of the more modern amps, such as the Marshalls and things like that. In terms of the construction, well, you can see it's about a square. It's just about 42 centimetres square. It's got a 10-inch speaker in it, which is a Brugera speaker. And in the electronics, they say the sound is produced as a virtual tube circuit, or VTC as they say. And in terms of weight, it's quite light, which is also really useful if you're lugging things around. It's just 10 kilograms, so it's not terribly heavy. And it's also, I find quite good to have it propped up at an angle to throw up the sound. So that's pretty much the whole amplifier. I like it very much. I think it sounds absolutely great. And most of the settings in the demo are going to be, everything is in mid position. You see the gain is around about 75%, volume is quite low. Volume here is really only about, well, let's say about 25% max. And all of the EQs are on middle position. And the reverb is also about on 12 o'clock position as well. So we'll just play a few tones and see what you think. So I'm just going to play this with one of my new guitar that I'll tell you about in another of my videos, but that's not what I'm trying to demonstrate today. I'm trying to demonstrate the Behringer HA-40R. Oh, and just to say, I just had a look on the internet here in the UK, and from one of the big stores, big sort of stores up in York, Gear for Music, it's on sale today for £106. So it's not a very expensive amplifier, but it's well worth the money. So just a few tones. First of all, just playing off the neck pickup here, and with the no gain on, so it's just through the clean channel. Just a few chords really. So I think the reverb's on, so the spring reverb's on, so if I just take that off, so then you obviously get quite a flatter sound. So put the spring reverb on again. So really quite a nice sound, a very nice clean sound off this guitar. If you want to say turn to the bridge pickup on this, then you obviously get a sharper sound. So nice, crisp, treble-y sound with a good bass response, and that's, remember, all of the EQ switches are on midpoint position, so you've got plenty of scope to vary that sound from the amplifier on its own. I'll just switch now on to the overdrive channel, which is a really excellent overdrive channel without having to mess about with it too much. As I said, the overdrive is on about, the gain is on about 75%, and the volume is really quite down, otherwise it would just blast you out of Kingdom Come. So it's quite good to have a volume control solely associated with the gain channel. So let's just click in. Sing, and if you want, that's on the bridge pickup. If we put it onto the neck pickup, play some sort of block chords, obviously you get a really good sound off a block chord. pickup. Okay, so there it is, a really great value small amp, as I say, 40 watt amp, plenty of power in to match up to 6 or 7 saxophones, which, believe me, are incredibly loud, and a couple of drummers, and it does the job really well. Again, I say quite compact, reasonably light for hugging around, and really great value. So it's the Behringer HA-40R, and there are a couple of other amps in the series. So there's a 20, an HA-20, and an HA-10. So this is the top of that range of this particular model for amps, and they, I think, have a little less in the way of controls in them. So an amp with a two foot switch job on it, which doesn't come with it incidentally, so I had to buy that separately, plus a cable that you need obviously to run the 2 channels on. Anyway, so that's it for today. Thank you very much for listening. As always, thanks for subscribing to my channel, which I say I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, well, let me know and I'll see if I can answer them for you. And thank you very much again for listening. Bye bye for now.